Hello and welcome to another YouTube video by me, LlyfrAnnoddach, or my name is Hyd or Lemon, which is a little bit easier to pronounce. Today I'll be doing a drawing of Fern from Frieren Beyond Journey's End. For simplicity, I'm going to be referring to the anime as Frieren, because I'm mostly going to be talking about Fern. I think from context you'll be able to tell if I talk about Frieren the character, but if it's unclear I'll probably just add the character after it. However, I will be referring to the show as Frieren because, yeah. I don't remember what episode it is, and I'm not gonna get too into it because of spoilers. But I recently caught up to the dub in Frieren recently, and the scene where Fern is talking to, I forget her name, the exam invigilator, the girl one, for the first class mage exam. They're talking about how Fern isn't quite as determined and motivated as Frieren is, and I think she responds that she used all her determination and motivation to become a mage in the first place when she was younger. And I just I like that a lot. Something about it really spoke to me, and I started thinking more about Fern as a character. And Fern is about 18 years old, but obviously within the confines of her magical world, you know, it is a little bit different to the confines of our world, where most 18-year-olds are still in school, whereas Fern didn't go to school. And I myself am 20 years old, and so I think that Fern and I are at similar stages in life, like a young adult trying to figure out what to do next type thing, where to go. And I'm sure many other people have related to Fern in that regard, regardless of age or because of age. And I really like that aspect about her character. It's something subtle that I noticed. In other anime that talk about mental health struggles, they discuss really intense and things that need a lot of therapy and medication very often. Obviously not all mental illnesses need therapy and medication, and I hate to use the word severe, but I think my first example would be Dazai Osamu from, I said that weirdly, Dazai Osamu from Bungo Stray Dogs, in the sense that he is very often talks about killing himself. The bandages on his arm, obviously, very often people associate it with, I'm not sure I'm allowed to say it on YouTube, and also you have Atsushi who has PTSD. I mean, most of the characters have PTSD, to be honest. And obviously very great. I'm very glad that we're seeing these types of disorders in fiction. I think illustrating how living with these disorders, I think illustration is a really good way, and illustrating through animation is a really good method to portray. Obviously you get into the murky waters of portraying negative stereotypes, portraying blah blah. This is a very nuanced topic that I can't cover in 9 minutes, and I'm not educated enough to cover. And while I think, yes, they're very important, I think portraying portraying the day-to-day mental struggles that a lot of people face is also important, and especially when we deal with the fact that, you know, you can't function very often with this depression, but also very often you can function just enough so that when you tell people you're depressed, they go, "What, really, you?" I think functioning depression is very hard to deal with, because you need to ask for help, but everyone doesn't understand that you need that help. At uni recently, I discussed the fact that I likely have autism, and everyone was like, "Oh, we could never guess unless you told us," and which is, I guess, good, because I'm masking well enough. But it also makes it hard to be seen in that regard. And I think it's a difficult thing to navigate, and I think Fern's storyline of Frieren really talks to that quite well. She's probably the most functional person in their party. I mean, Stark is about the same age as her, so I'd say he and she are probably similar. Whereas Frieren, I think Frieren's another whole kind of worms. I'll probably try and open another day, but the Frieren as a show talks a lot about the human condition, which is ironic considering Frieren is not a person, and the biggest theme in Frieren is timelessness and how to cope with immortality and grief. But the human characters really speak to that same human condition, and especially with a young girl like Fern, and she's been thrust into this motherly elder sister role by someone so, like, as old as magic. Because Frieren, and I'm sure Fern likes that role. She seems like the type of character who enjoys taking care of Frieren. She says in the episode that I'm referring to, I think it's like episode 25 or something, that she likes seeing Frieren happy. She likes his adventure. It's not, Frieren isn't taking advantage of her kindness. But I think it's really interesting and really speaks to something tender within me when I watch Frieren. I also really like that sorry, I'm babbling. I just think Frieren talks a lot about human condition, and if anime were more widely accepted as a valid form of art, I personally believe it is, but I know a lot of people don't. I honestly think this manga, this anime could be classic literature in a 100 years. It talks so distinctly about what it's like to be human from the perspective of a character who's non-human, but also the characters who are human. Stark has to cope with not wanting to die. It's not even cowardice he faces, it's the fact that he doesn't want to die. And that's a very human thing that in a lot of anime gets written off as cowardice. And it's like, oh, that character is so cowardly because he doesn't want to die. And it's like, well, we would all react in that same way. And I just think Fern's subtle mental health struggles, but she's still managing to cope, is really important. Because she doesn't know what she's doing. She's lost her passion for life because she spent it all up in her first few years coming of age, and it's something I relate to as someone who fought so hard to be able to go to an art uni and, get to uni. I just got to make it through to get to uni, that sort of thing. And now I'm here, I've lost that passion for a lot of my hobbies and art itself now that I have to do it at uni, and I know for a fact that's not a unique experience to me. I know lots of people cope with it, and I think Fern as a young character who's already lost that passion, she's already jaded with life, and she's only 18. I think that's important, and I think, again, it talks to the human condition in modern society. I know a lot of people struggle with this, as do I, and I like Fern a lot for that. I think that episode really helped, confirm a lot of my fondness towards her. I like her a lot, and I think everyone should like her. She's a great character. Drink water and stand Fern from Frieren. Thank you for watching. I'm not too keen on this piece, but I recorded it anyway, so I was like, I might as well post. Like, comment, subscribe, please. Thumbs up. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.